right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Tiani Jadaling in Phoenix. A Phoenix family is searching for answers after their 17-year-old brother was shot and killed while working at Desert Sky Mall. What the family is telling us tonight.
Temperatures remaining extremely hot Friday and Saturday. The winds are also going to pick up, which will increase the fire risk across the state.
And a Valley homeowner says that bird poop forced him to make thousands of dollars in repairs. Now the city is taking action.
12 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news. Police searching for a potentially armed suspect near Sky Harbor right now. These are live pictures from the scene near State Route 143 and University. Let's show you what things looked like a little bit earlier this evening. Phoenix police say it started near 46th Street and Rozier when a suspect pointed a gun at someone. The suspect fled from police and wound up crashing near Sky Harbor. Police right now still searching for the suspect. Stay with 12 News for updates.
Tonight we're hearing from the family of the 17-year-old who was shot and killed Tuesday night at Desert Sky Mall in West Phoenix. Kevin Zamora's family tells 12 News that the teen was working the night the gunshots rang out just before 8:30.
And now they're looking for answers, and they want to share their memories of the youngest member of their family. 12 News journalist Tiani Jadaling spoke with that family tonight and has their message.
The family tells me Kevin just graduated. Last Tuesday was just a normal day for him and the family until they received a call they never expected.
He was going to work to help my mom.
He worked every single day to help us. Every single day. He would help his family. That's all he cared about was his family and friends.
That's all the Zamora family says their youngest brother Kevin cared about. They say the 17-year-old sold cologne inside the Desert Sky Mall. And that's exactly what he was doing the night he was gunned down.
Every day after school, he would go straight to, he would go home and he would greet his family. He would go straight to work after that. He worked here at the Desert Sky Mall.
According to the Phoenix Police Department, information provided by callers described that the shots took place inside the mall, injuring both Zamora and another 16-year-old. Both teens were transported to the hospital, the 16-year-old with non-life-threatening injuries and Zamora with injuries that would be fatal. The family says the other victim was working with Kevin that night.
It was a few co-workers that were working together.
Tuesday night, multiple individuals were detained, none of them suspected of being the shooter. That's according to the Phoenix Police Department. At this time, Phoenix PD's homicide unit is investigating the case. But for the family of one of the two victims, they're holding on to memories of their youngest brother.
He had his whole life ahead of him. He was an uncle. He was a brother. He was a very loving person. He had a big heart. He has a big heart. A lot of people know him. They loved him.
The family tells me they're cooperating with the Phoenix Police Department, but what's most important to them is keeping their relatives' memories alive. In Phoenix, I'm Tiani Jadaling, 12 News.
All right, Tiani, thank you. Avondale police officers shot a man inside of a home this afternoon while trying to serve a search warrant. Police say that it happened in Litchfield Park near Camelback and Dysart Roads after the man pulled out a gun. Tonight, we're told that the man who was shot has non-life-threatening injuries. No officers were injured. The Goodyear Police Department has taken over the investigation.
New at 10, frightening video on social media shows a Peoria school bus stuck underneath a gate at a railroad crossing as a train passes by. The Peoria Unified School District confirmed the incident did happen yesterday, and the bus was carrying students at the time. A letter sent home to parents says that some students were upset, but thankfully no one was hurt. The district tells us the bus driver has been placed on leave as they continue to investigate.
Peoria police say that a man killed his uncle on Monday before taking his own life after a pursuit. Today, police identified the suspect as 25-year-old Jet Berry. Police say that he shot and stabbed his uncle, 31-year-old Jackson Berry, after a fight outside of a home near El Mirage Road and Vistancia Boulevard. Police tracked Jet Berry to Payson, where they tried to take him into custody. After a short pursuit, police say that Berry took his own life. Tonight, detectives are still investigating.
Tonight, state lawmakers still negotiating the budget, and one major sticking point continues to be tax breaks for data centers.
12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is joining us now in studio. And Maria, what is this debate all about?
Well, Mark, Uribe supporters say data centers help grow Arizona's economy, but those on the other side argue they benefit big corporations at the public's expense.
Our economy should work for people, not just the wealthy and well-connected.
With the state budget deadline fast approaching, several groups gathered at the Capitol Thursday night, calling for change.
So what we're asking is to fund our schools, fund public health services, fund housing and housing programs, and also not prioritize corporate tax giveaways like data centers.
They're urging lawmakers to repeal Arizona's data center tax incentives altogether.
We want to divest from corporate giveaways to invest in community programs that are widely popular.
The debate comes after Governor Katie Hobbs vetoed a $17.9 billion GOP budget last month, citing multiple concerns, including a $30 million tax break for data centers, according to her office.
It's an interesting and exciting fight right now.
Danny Seiden, the CEO of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce, says negotiations have been nonstop.
This is about economic development and competition and national security. There's a lot of things happening here.
These incentives have been around for more than a decade.
That's why we're having this massive manufacturing boom,
offering up to 10, sometimes 20 years in tax breaks to companies spending millions building data centers here in Arizona.
It was meant to really help cut down the cost of building these massive projects here, but it leads to a lot of construction jobs.
While he acknowledges those jobs may not be long-term, he says the bigger payoff is attracting high-tech industries to the state. But opponents argue their communities aren't getting enough back.
Since Arizona taxpayers are investing into our state budget, the money should go back to Arizona taxpayers.
State lawmakers have until June 30th to pass a budget before the start of the new fiscal year on July 1st. Live in studio, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
Maria, thanks.
And tomorrow, streaming on the free 12 News app, you can watch an in-depth conversation on data centers. 12 News journalist Joe Dana talks to an expert about the debate over data centers raising temperatures and your power bill. You can watch that tomorrow at 9 a.m. streaming on the free 12 News app.
We want to get to some breaking news right now. The Loop 202 is shut down in both directions in Tempe because of a police situation. This is a map of the area that's been shut down. It's between Priest and Rural, and again, this is both sides of the 202. ADOT says drivers should expect delays and try to seek an alternate route, adding right now there is no estimated time to reopen that freeway. Taking a live look at Sky Harbor right now, hundreds of flights have been delayed tonight. The FAA says it's because of a shortage of air traffic controllers. The advisory says flights bound for Phoenix are delayed for an hour on average. The delays are expected to last at least until midnight. New at 10 in East Valley City will soon vote on a new ordinance to prevent people from excessively feeding and taking in wild birds.
Apparently, it's a problem that has cost homeowners in Chandler thousands of dollars in repairs, with pigeons and other birds taking over neighborhoods. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with one of them and saw the problem firsthand.
It's not odd to see a bird feeder in someone's backyard, but one Chandler family says someone in their neighborhood is putting out pounds and pounds of birdseed every single day, leading to their home and others looking like a classic movie from the 1960s.
You know the movie The Birds from Alfred Hitchcock? That is how we feel when we take our trash out.
Every day, Thane and Joy Martin wake up to this.
Hundreds of birds.
Wild birds piling onto their home and others.
That's one right there.
They said it started a few years ago. One of their neighbors puts out about 15 pounds of bird seed every day, leading to pigeons and other wild birds taking over. Every time they go outside, there's a chance they'll get a present from above.
We've been pooped on many times. Like, you can't even go put your trash out without the risk of getting hit with bird poop.
Leaving behind the mess you would expect, having to clean it up multiple times a day, but sometimes they just can't keep up.
There's nothing more irritating than seeing a little grandson putting a toy in his mouth and seeing the white stuff on his tongue and realizing it's bird crap on a pool toy that I didn't get a chance to clean before he found it.
The accumulation, Martin says, led to their roof prematurely failing.
That bird poop turns into acid, which eats the underlayment and the metal fascia, and it makes your roof fail early.
Costing them a lot of money in repairs, as well as deterrents to keep the birds off their home.
Ultimately, we had to spend thousands of dollars.
They tried talking to the neighbor and got nowhere, so they decided to go another route.
We shouldn't have to spend that money. That's the whole thing. And that's why we brought the nuisance bird ordinance forward.
The Martins creating their own petition, gathering signatures from neighbors and from other neighborhoods going through a similar problem. It led to a proposed nuisance ordinance in Chandler that prevents excessive bird feeding and keeping non-domesticated birds.
It's not saying that you can't have a bird feeder at your house. That's okay. But when the bird droppings start accumulating on other people's property, when you're causing damage, physical damage, right? Health concerns, that's when you gotta draw the line.
In order to keep homes and the neighborhood clean and safe.
The City Council will be voting on this ordinance at its next meeting this upcoming Thursday. We're in Chandler. Chase Golightly, 12 News.